Okay, let's just jump right into this explainer. We live in a world that constantly, almost aggressively demands we share absolutely everything, right? We're conditioned to believe that being loud equals being powerful. But today, we're going to flip that entirely and look at the undeniable evidence of why silence makes you stronger. Your greatest untapped strength is actually staying completely quiet.
We're facing this massive conflict every single day. Society pressures us to loudly broadcast our lives, our plans, our problems, our daily emotions, the whole nine yards. But the quiet truth, true power actually lies in protecting your inner world. Not everyone needs to know your story. I mean, sure, many people will listen to you, but not everyone actually cares. Some are literally just listening to judge, compare, or, let's be honest, just gossip. By embracing the quiet truth, you're actively protecting your energy, your peace, and your future.
And here's why that matters. Talking too much has hidden costs. Oversharing literally leaks your energy. Think about it. Every time you repeat your problems over and over, you're draining your mental battery. And worse, it exposes your emotional weaknesses. You're basically handing others the keys to your emotional state. But when you stay quiet, you're saving that emotional strength. And energy saved is energy you can channel right back into your own personal growth.
Section 1. Protecting your inner peace. Building an unbreakable mind.
So, emotional discipline follows this really vital progression. It all starts with the pause. Most problems in life spiral out of control because of fast reactions fueled by anger, sadness, or just pure ego. When you speak immediately, your emotions are completely in the driver's seat. But taking that brief pause of silence, it creates the space necessary for true maturity. It gives you a second to breathe, think clearly, and finally move to responding wisely, rather than just reacting blindly. Reaction creates damage, but a measured response creates power.
I absolutely love this quote. Silence hides your emotional buttons. When you stay quiet, you prevent people from manipulating you. Why? Because they simply don't know what hurts you, what scares you, or what excites you. If you share too much, you're essentially handing people a detailed manual on exactly how to push your buttons. But without that information, negativity gets confused, attacks are totally weakened, and you become incredibly hard to break. Calm strength wins silently, for sure.
Look at this contrast. Pain shared carelessly, it just becomes a weakness. It keeps the wounds wide open, and eventually just turns into shallow gossip, or worse, a source of pity. But when that exact same pain is processed silently, it transforms into deep, unbreakable mental strength. When you reflect inward and process your struggles quietly, that suffering actually becomes profound wisdom. Sure, talking might give you some temporary comfort, but silence gives you permanent control.
Section 2. Why goals need secrecy. Protect your plans and your future.
Okay, pay really close attention here because this is a fascinating psychological trap called false satisfaction. And it's exactly why talking about your plans feels so good, but totally ruins your hunger for real results. See, when you passionately explain your shiny new goal to a friend, your brain releases dopamine. It feels rewarded, like you've already achieved something. This literally tricks you into feeling successful without having done a single ounce of real work. Silence, on the other hand, keeps that hunger alive, and that hunger is exactly what creates actual action.
By keeping your mouth shut, you actively defend your mindset against some very real threats. Other people's opinions, they'll only confuse your direction. Their expectations will just create crushing pressure and anxiety. And here's a hard truth: secret jealousies can lead to actual external sabotage. By staying quiet, you fiercely protect your focus. Explaining your plans takes energy, working quietly is what actually gets the results.
Just remember, strong roots grow underground. Quiet growth is safe growth. When people don't know your moves, they simply cannot interfere with your progress. They can't distract you, they can't discourage you, and there's no way they can sabotage you. Growing quietly gives you the freedom to make mistakes and learn, completely free from the pressure of an audience watching your every single move.
Section 3. Silence in your relationships. Boundaries build respect.
It is absolutely crucial to ask yourself this question: who deserves access to you? Your thoughts, your plans, and your emotions are deeply, deeply valuable. And frankly, sharing everything with everyone just makes them cheap. Silence isn't about being cold, it's about selection. You aren't cutting people off, you're simply choosing wisely who actually gets access to your inner world. Setting that level of boundary shows immense emotional intelligence and maturity.
There's a massive difference in how this impacts your relationships. Sharing absolutely everything often creates this emotional imbalance where you become dependent on others for constant validation and comfort. Not to mention, it sparks arguments. Words fuel ego, and ego creates conflict. Silence, however, acts as armor. It stops arguments before they even start because you aren't reacting to every little comment. Plus, keeping some things to yourself creates a level of mystery that naturally commands respect from everyone around you.
Section 4. Mastering True Silent Power. Become calm, strong, and unstoppable.
You know, weak people tend to rely on loud confidence. They announce their changes because they're seeking external approval, validation, maybe even sympathy. But truly strong people, they embody quiet confidence. They don't need anyone's permission to become better. They don't try to prove anything. They just improve. They trust themselves, and that inner trust creates an unshakable strength. It doesn't need to shout to be recognized.
When you finally master these traits of silent power, you basically become emotionally untouchable. You realize you no longer need the world's applause to feel validated. You find profound comfort in just being alone, handling your inner battles, like self-doubt and fear, quietly rather than fighting them on the outside. Because you aren't constantly talking, you have the bandwidth to just observe, analyze, and move strategically. And honestly, that makes you dangerously unpredictable in the absolute best way possible. While the rest of the world underestimates you, you're just out there quietly winning.
And this brings us to the ultimate takeaway of our entire explainer today. Let your results make the noise. You do not need to explain your journey to anyone. You do not need to announce your personal growth. Life respects action, not words. When you master yourself in quiet focus, literally no one can control you.
So as you leave this explainer, I really want you to seriously consider this. Will you let the world hear your plans, or will you force them to hear your results? Let people guess, let people underestimate you, keep working in the quiet, because one day your results will speak so loudly that your silence will finally be understood. Thanks for joining me for this explainer, and remember, protect your peace and grow in silence.